Let me tell you something that nobody warns you about before you start winning in life. The moment things start going right for you, the moment you get the promotion, build the business, glow up, level up, or simply start showing up better than you used to, people change. And not always in the way you hoped. Some people, the ones you laughed with, grew up with, sat next to, or called your closest friends, they go quiet, they get weird. They start saying things under their breath. They stop clapping when your name gets called. They smile at your face and roll their eyes the second you turn around. And here's the part that nobody talks about. It is not your fault. You did not do anything wrong. You just grew. And growing, my friend, makes some people deeply, deeply uncomfortable. That is called jealousy. And it is one of the most misunderstood forces that will follow you your entire life, especially as you keep going higher. So today, we are going to talk about how to deal with jealous people. Not how to fight them. Not how to expose them. Not how to plot some revenge. But how to handle it with your head high, your peace protected, and your path completely intact. Because at the end of the day, how you respond to jealousy will say everything about who you are becoming. Stay with me. This one is going to hit different. 1. Understand what jealousy actually is. Before you can deal with something, you have to understand it. So let us break this down in the simplest way possible. Jealousy is not really about you. Read that again. Jealousy is not about you. It is about them. When someone is jealous of you, what they are really feeling is a painful mix of two things. Number 1, they want something they believe they cannot have. And number 2, they are looking at you and seeing living proof that it is possible, and that scares them more than they will ever admit out loud. Think about a little kid at school. One child brings a brand new toy to class. Some kids walk over, look at it, say, "Wow, that is amazing," and ask to play. But that one kid stands far away, crosses their arms, and says, "That toy is not even that good." Why? Because inside, they desperately want that toy, and they do not know how to ask, how to earn it, or how to handle the feeling of not having it. Adults do the exact same thing. They just use bigger, quieter, more complicated ways of doing it. Your coworker who suddenly stops helping you after your promotion? Jealous. Your friend who never comments on your wins but always notices your losses? Jealous. Your family member who says you have changed every time you try to grow? Jealous. The person online who shows up in your comments with nothing good to say? Jealous. And once you understand that their jealousy is a mirror of their own pain, not a verdict on your worth, everything shifts. You stop taking it personally, and you start dealing with it wisely. 2. Stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. Here is where most good people go wrong. And I want you to hear this clearly, because this mistake is costing a lot of people their destiny. When you sense jealousy around you, the natural thing to do, especially if you are a kind-hearted person, is to pull back, to play small, to stop talking about your wins, to dim your light a little so others do not feel blinded by it. You think you are being humble, you think you are being considerate, but what you are actually doing is punishing yourself for their insecurity. You cannot shrink yourself to make someone else feel bigger. That is not how any of this works. Imagine a candle in a dark room. Does the candle apologize for giving light? Of course not. The candle cannot help other candles by putting itself out. The only thing a candle can do is keep burning, and if another candle wants light too, all it has to do is lean in. Your excellence is not the problem. The fact that some people have not yet found their own fire, that is the problem, and you dimming yours will never help them find it. So the first real move when dealing with jealous people is simple but powerful. Keep going, keep shining, keep building. Not to rub it in their face. No, that would make you no better than them. But because you owe it to yourself, and honestly, you owe it to the world. The world does not need you playing small. The world needs you fully on fire. 3. Know who deserves a response, and who deserves your silence. Not every jealous person gets the same treatment from you, and learning this distinction will save you so much time, energy, and peace. There are 2 types of jealous people in your life. The first type is someone who is close to you, a partner, a sibling, a best friend, someone who genuinely loves you but is struggling with their own insecurities. Their jealousy comes from fear, not hatred. They are scared of being left behind. They are scared you will outgrow them. They are scared that your success means you will not need them anymore. These people deserve patience. These people deserve your warmth. When a person you love comes at you with jealousy, what they are actually saying, underneath all the sideways comments and quiet resentment, is, "Please do not forget me." That is a cry for connection, not an attack on your character. So what do? You affirm them. You make them feel seen. You say, "I know this feels strange. I know things are changing, but I am still me, and you still matter to me." You give them the reassurance that growth does not mean abandonment. Some of them will hear it, some of them will grow with you, and those are the ones worth keeping close. But then there is the second type, and these are the ones most people waste too much energy on. The second type is the person who does not love you, does not know you well, and is simply bitter about what you have done with your life. The distant acquaintance, the social media stranger, the coworker you barely talk to, the relative who only shows up to criticize. These people, they do not deserve a response. They barely deserve a thought. Their jealousy is like rain on a window. It makes noise. It looks messy from the outside, but it cannot get in. Not unless you open the window. Do not open the window. Let it rain. Keep warm inside. And keep moving forward. 4. Let their doubt be your fuel. Now this is the part I really love, because this is where you flip the entire thing on its head. Every great person who ever lived had people who doubted them, dismissed them, or tried to drag them back down. Every single one. And what separated the ones who made it from the ones who quit was not talent. It was not luck. It was what they did with the doubt that got thrown at them. The most successful people on earth did not get defeated by jealousy. They got energized by it. When someone says, "You will never make it," some people fold. But the right person, the person who is truly built for excellence, takes that comment, puts it in a folder labeled "Watch Me," and gets back to work twice as hard. Jealousy is telling you something important. It is telling you that you are visible now. It is telling you that you have done enough to be noticed. It is telling you that you are no longer playing at a level where people can ignore you. That is not a bad thing. That is a sign you are doing something right. So every time jealousy shows up in your life, instead of letting it slow you down, let it push you. Let it remind you why you started. Let it sharpen your focus and deepen your drive. Use it as fuel. Pour it into your work. Channel it into your craft. And then let the results do all the talking that words never could. Because here is a truth that time always proves. Short-term success makes people jealous, but long-term, consistent excellence, that makes people believers. Keep going long enough, and even the biggest doubters in the room will quietly sit down and start watching with respect. 5. Remember your why, and guard it like your life depends on it. Here is the honest truth about why jealousy hurts as much as it does. It is not just the comments. It is not just the cold shoulders. It is what happens inside you when you start to wonder if they are right. That voice, that tiny, quiet, dangerous voice that starts whispering, what if they are right? What if I am not good enough? What if this is too much? What if I should just stop? That voice is the real enemy, not the jealous people. That voice is what jealousy wants to feed. Because if jealousy can get inside your head and make you doubt your own dream, it wins without ever throwing a single punch. The antidote to that voice is knowing, deeply, clearly, and unshakably, why you are doing what you are doing. Why do you want to build this thing? Why do you want to become this person? Why does this dream matter to you? Why are you willing to go through the hard parts, the quiet parts, the lonely parts, and the discouraging parts? When your why is crystal clear, no comment can cut through it. When your why is big enough, and real enough, and personal enough, all the noise outside becomes just that. Noise, background sound. Static that you barely even notice anymore because you are so locked in on what you are here to do. Write your why down. Put it somewhere you see it every day. Read it in the morning before the world gets loud. Because the person who remembers their why, while everyone else is doubting them, that is the person who changes everything. 6. Serve others, and watch the game change completely. And this last one, this is the one that most people underestimate, but it might be the most powerful of them all. As you grow, as you rise, as you keep winning, bring people with you. A lot of the jealousy you face is actually loneliness wearing a disguise. People are not always angry at what you have. Sometimes they are just quietly hoping that someone like you would reach back and say, hey, come on, there is room for you too. Share what you know, teach what you have learned, lift up the person who is just a few steps behind you on the same road you are walking, mentor someone, encourage someone, cheer loudly for someone else's win the same way you hope people cheer for yours. This does something remarkable. It is almost impossible to hate someone who is genuinely invested in your success. It is almost impossible to stay jealous of someone who keeps pulling you forward. When you serve others on your way up, you are not just building goodwill, you are building a community of people who are rooting for you. And jealous voices, they are silenced, not by arguments, not by shutting people out, but by love, by generosity, by showing the world, through your daily actions, that your success was never at anyone's expense. Be humble enough to remember where you came from, be strong enough to keep going where you are headed, and be generous enough to carry someone with you along the way. That is how you deal with jealous people, not by fighting them, not by becoming them, but by becoming so full of purpose, so locked into your mission, and so generous with your spirit, that jealousy simply has no door to knock on anymore. So let us bring all of this home. When jealousy comes your way, and it will, because you are going places, remember this. Understand, it is their pain, not your fault. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable. Know who deserves patience and who deserves your silence. Let their doubt fuel your fire. Guard your why like your life depends on it, and serve people generously as you rise. You are not on this journey to make everyone comfortable. You are on this journey to become everything you were made to be, and you cannot afford to slow that down.